Madam Mayor, we are live and recording. You can begin whenever you wish.
Wonderful, thank you, Madam Clerk. Welcome, everyone. This is our regular council meeting for September 17th. Of course, before we begin, just remind you that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed to the Township's YouTube channel. And we do have participants, of course, joining us from both the chambers as well as from Zoom. So please raise your hand and I'll call on you if you wish to speak on a matter. So we'll now call the roll. We have Deputy Mayor Nelson.
Present.
Councillor Watt.
Present.
Councillor Vorvort is on Zoom.
Present.
If your audio is working, Councillor Johnston.
Present.
Of course, myself, Heather Watson, and we have our clerk, Brittany J. Hartman.
Good afternoon.
Our acting CEO, Mike Renner. Our interim treasurer, Paul Freeman. Hello. So with quorum and everyone in attendance, we'll call the meeting to order, beginning with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that we are on the lands which are part of the 1818 Treaty 20 and the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe bands of the Great Ojibwe Nation. We offer our gratitude to the Ojibwe for their care and knowledge of the lands on which we work, live, and enjoy. May we honor and respect their teaching and our treaty obligations as we grow together. And we'll just pause, please, for a moment of silent reflection. Okay, so of course, the agenda has been distributed in advance of the meeting. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing nothing, just looking for a motion to adopt the agenda. Deputy Mayor Nelson, seconded by Councillor Johnston, all in favor. And that motion carries. Thank you very much. On to item number 6. We've got 2 sets of minutes in front of us from the regular council meeting of September 3rd and the special closed meeting minutes from August 13th, 30th, September 3rd, and September 6th.
Move.
Thank you very much, Councillor Watt, seconded by Councillor Report. All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much. On to consent agenda. There's 4 items there. Is there anything anybody wants to hold for discussion? Councillor Watt?
Yes, could I hold 7.4, please?
7.4, all of it, or just any one particular?
Well, there's 2 files in there, the others in the dark.
Okay. So that's going to move down to item 12. I always forget that. Okay. So, Madam Clerk, are we able to just pull out those 2? Or should we pull the whole report? I guess.
No, we can just pull those two.
Those 2. So B7124 and B7224. Anything else that anyone wants to hold? I think we just get a motion to receive those. Councillor Johnston, seconded by Deputy Mayor Nelson, all in favor. And that motion carries. Thank you. We have no delegations, petitions, or presentations. No one has registered for the public comment period. So on to staff reports, item 10.1, which is the report and capital project status. Any questions from council or anything to discuss? Deputy Mayor Nelson.
Just one question, and that is on the bylaw for the septic tank issue that I brought forward to council before. Just wondering if that is still there. This more maybe a question, does not need to go tonight, but just wondering if that's going to hopefully be completed before the end of September, maybe.
Let's just call it 2024. Technically, it's not even fall there.
I think we'll kind of said September.
Okay. Does
September.
it say September or fall?
Yeah, no, September 2024.
All right. Any comment on that from our CAO, or when we can expect that coming forward, or?
I'm not sure we're going to meet the September deadline, but it's definitely on the radar, and we hope in the fall.
Okay.
In the fall, definitely, but I'm not sure we're going to meet the September deadline.
I had just a little commentary to that, Mike, through you around there. I had a phone call from a person looking to restore the septic bed, and I had told him to, talk with the building department, and anyways, I said that he was concerned about this anyway, so I think it might have been a new bill that he was putting one in, so I said, I know it's coming shortly. So that's the reason I asked. So,
I'll follow up.
sure, yeah, no,
Thank you very much.
that's great, thanks.
And Deputy Mayor, I apologize, when you said the septic item, I was looking at the one, that's 3 or 4 lines further that says fall of 2024, so I apologize for
Yeah.
that,
I
that questioning, I was.
If I
Of course.
I might just continue, I just received a note, somebody's watching us, that we're aiming for an October 15th public meeting for the septic bylaw,
For the, okay, for the.
for the
ZBA.
the setback.
Okay,
Septic setback.
yeah, okay, sure. Okay.
Awesome,
Thank
thank you
you.
for that. Any other questions or comments on that report? Then a motion to receive, please, Councillor Roth, seconded by Deputy Mayor Nelson, all in favor? And that motion carries. On to item 10.2, the grant requests from our treasurer, Mr. Freeman, over to you.
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. In front of you is report treasurer 2024-17. The purpose of this report is really to get direction on a request from the Peterborough County Commons Association. This is a request that has been coming in pretty much annually. And however, under our new community grant program, the policy states that once we reach the full budget for the year, staff no longer have the ability to approve these internally, and it's now council's decision. Really, the purpose of that is, it's not up to staff's discretion to go over budget. And then I think if you were to read the rest of the report, it outlines what the request is for an event being held in the township to support them. So at this point in time, staff are looking for direction from council on whether or not to approve this request.
Thank you very much, Mr. Freeman. Questions, comments?
Questions,
Councillor
are we
Johnson?
over spending our dollars?
Through you, Mayor, yes, we are over, but put us over this year, I think, which will be different than future years going forward. I think in the 2025 budget, we'll look at the health center on its own, probably a separate budget line item, but the $3,500 allocated to the Morton Community Health Care Center is the last amount that was approved and put us over the annual budget.
And if I can just ask for clarification on that, can you remind me, Mr. Brewer, if that Morton Center donation, I know that they were coming to us looking for maybe 2 years at their original request, was that, did we end up funding that full request, or was it just, is that what the annual amount would be?
To you, Madam Mayor, that was approximately the annual amount that was approved.
All right, thank you. Councillor Watt.
If I may make a comment too, and we're also looking at the Norwood one, so I mean, a separate line item for both those would be a excellent idea. And as far as this goes, I'm gonna make a motion. Peterborough County Club Association's always been one of our sponsors, and I don't see a reason to not do it, so I'm gonna make a motion to go ahead and make the donation to them, and it's gonna be in our township coming up soon, anyway, like Paul says.
How much?
200.
200.
Does anyone want to second that motion? Councilmember Report? And any discussion on the motion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much. On to item 10.3, 2025 council meeting schedule.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So the report that's before you is regarding the 2025 council meeting schedule. In our procedural bylaw, it says that prior to November 30th of each calendar year, the clerk will submit a schedule of the upcoming meetings to council for consideration. So we've gone through and reviewed the 2025 calendar year and created a chart of all of the Tuesday council meeting dates for our regular meetings and provided that to council for review. There was also a comment at one of our committee of the whole meetings asking staff to see if it was possible to move committee of the whole meetings from Tuesday till Wednesday morning. We have prepared a draft schedule for that for council's review. There is one date in August where there was quite a few conflicts, so we have proposed a different day in August, which is the 27th at the end of the month, as opposed to the second Tuesday of the month, and that's to avoid a county council conflict and the annual conflict. So The committee of the whole is brand new, that suggestion for you to ponder. And then the 2025 council meeting schedule is very similar to the schedule we had this year.
And Madam Clerk, the regular council meeting schedule, it doesn't include any budget schedule on top of that.
That's correct, Madam Mayor. Any budget meetings or special meetings would be over and above the calendar that we provided. Thank you.
Any questions from council on that?
Make a motion to receive that. While we're scheduled.
All right, and second that motion. Councilor Verboort, any discussion on the motion? All in favor? That motion carries. Thank you very much. Back over to you, Madam Clerk, with the group benefits renewal report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just before we move forward, if I could just ask for some clarification on the last motion. Are we receiving and approving those
I'm sorry,
schedules or
I'm
just?
receiving.
Thank you very much. All right, so on to the benefit renewal. So this report is regarding the group benefits that the township provides. Every year, staff work with Mosey & Mosey, which is our benefits broker, to review the benefits plan and bring a report forward to let council know what any potential increases may be or any changes to the plan. So we have gone ahead and done that work. And based on staff's work and Mosey & Mosey's work, we're actually going to see a decrease of $2,700 for 2025 for our benefits plan. So there is a chart showing all the different line items in the plan and any increases or decreases for those, and just a cover report providing the highlights. Staff is looking for council's approval on this so that we can move forward with receiving the information.
Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Nelson.
Through you, Madam Mayor, just a small question, maybe you can answer this, maybe you can't. Is some of the reason for the decrease, you generally don't see benefits go down much, but it is sometimes when a younger workforce is in play that kind of happens, is that one of the reasons? Possibly why the decrease? Or, I don't know, it's just kind of funny, it jumps out at me that that's kind of funny that they would decrease the amount of benefit costs.
Through you, Madam Mayor, in speaking to Mosey, and Mosey, our age rating on average hasn't really increased or decreased. It stayed pretty static. Different staff joining the organization and leaving the organization. But we have had much better ratings for long-term disability and weekly indemnity benefits over the last few years. And so that improvement in our usage of those benefits has provided two of the largest decrease line items for the renewal this year.
Okay, thanks for that, Martin, and it's good news that it's gone down.
See you in a couple of months, yeah.
Yeah.
Councilor what?
Yes, Seaman, do you want a motion on this first, or just speak what I?
I've got questions.
Okay, yeah, and it's something that Councilor Johnson brought up before, and I kind of forgot about it till we mentioned it, but back in, or even probably the first part of my first term, maybe second term, councillors had some kind of coverage through the township when we traveled, and I know we all had a card with us. Ray, did you ever find that card?
Yeah, I did.
And it was a card that we were covered. I know we don't have a lot unless we pay for benefits and stuff like that, or pay partial pay for them, but this card was something to do with travel insurance, so I get, and I know we'd asked about it before, and I don't remember, did we ever find out anything on it, or whether that just got discontinued, or?
I think,
I'm not sure where.
I think we asked Martina, I think she said she hadn't seen it for several years.
Yeah.
But I think so it was just rough.
Okay.
Right.
Through Madam Mayor, I think Alana, actually, our previous CEO, had looked into that, and I feel like she had a response, but I don't remember what it is, so
I don't remember
will,
either, so.
I'll investigate that and bring it back to you.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate that. It's something that certainly was beneficial, especially, for people that don't have a whole lot of benefits anymore because they don't work anymore.
Fair enough. Any other questions from council on the report? Just one. Can you, if I may, I'll jump in. So, can you help me understand the relationship with Mosey & Mosey, Douro-Dummer Township, and the county as it relates to this policy? Like, at what point are we interested, it's great that we're seeing reduction in rate, but at what point might we be interested in going to market in general and as opposed to just going over that policy?
Through you, Madam Mayor, we actually went out to market last year for our benefits program, and last year we went up, I think it was just 1%, I think it was quite a small increase, but that did go out to general market. And then as for the county, we are not all of the townships, but many of the townships in the county are part of the county consortium. And so we are able to average our rates on 50% of our renewal, and then 50% is based on the township's own usage, and that allows us to have less peaks and valleys when renewing our benefit program.
Okay, so when we went to market a year ago, it was the group we, not we as in the township on its own.
So it was through Mosey and Mosey, they went to market for everyone, but each township and the county received their own benefits packages, and some saw larger increases, some saw smaller increases, and we were one of the ones that saw a smaller increase.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome.
If there's no other questions, could we get a motion on this, please? Deputy Mayor Nelson,
Oh, move to,
receive your information.
receive the report. With it.
Words here, Mike.
Oh, yeah. No.
Anyone want to second that? Councillor Johnston, any discussion on the motion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, it is your night. Item 10.5, update regarding the events committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is my last report on the agenda. This is a report to council regarding our events committee and the upcoming events that are coming up in the township. So township staff had recently begun to plan for Remembrance Day in the Santa Claus Parade, and we're working with the chair on calling a meeting. Sadly, we weren't able to get that meeting arranged, but staff have worked with the chair to review the upcoming events. While we were working through that process, we did receive notice from Julie Chatton, she's one of our longtime members, that she's no longer able to be on the committee. So we wanted to bring that to council's attention, because without that extra person on the committee, we no longer need quorum. But we do have these events coming up, which is the Remembrance Day ceremony and the Santa Claus Parade. And so I'm working with our chair, that's Councillor Johnston. We would like, as staff, to keep planning these, and to keep the other members of the committee informed so that they can participate, and to also work with our volunteers on putting these events together. And if we are lucky enough to have interest in someone new joining the committee, we'll bring that to council as well.
Thank you very much. Any questions on the report? Out of curiosity, are we going to be doing any outward recruitment? I know at certain times of the year we'll put postings out, and we're looking for volunteers to fill our various roles, because this is midterm. Does that make sense? Or
Through you, Madam Mayor, we were planning on putting posts up on our website for both the Remembrance Day ceremony and the Santa Claus Parade, calling for community volunteers. In that same, in those posts, we will mention there's a gap on the committee, and if someone would like to join the committee, membership's always open to them.
wonderful. Okay. Any other questions? Well, certainly, I'll just speak to Julie Chatton, and I know the motion there is to send a letter of thanks, but certainly in 2018, I recall Julie was one of the volunteers who stepped up to help bring the Canada Day parade back when the volunteers suddenly decided not to be involved in that. And I've had the opportunity to work with her, and certainly appreciated her efforts and her commitment to that event. And I do thank her for her service and her commitment to the community. Motion from Councilor Watt.
I'll make the motion to receive the thanks, and what do we have for signs in the village? Or like, we've got the Donwood Fire Hall sign, and do we have others there yet? Maybe we could utilize them a little bit to try and promote looking for people too. So if I could make that part of my motion, please.
You got that, Madam Clerk?
It's going to get jumped, right?
Yeah. And does somebody want to second that motion?
Oh, second.
Deputy Mayor Nelson, any discussion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much.
Do we still need, going through the chair, do we still need to receive the report?
It was
Yeah,
the
no,
motion
it
not
is,
to
I
receive.
received it and,
with
that
thanks
was
and,
both
yeah.
on,
Awesome, thank you very much. On to item number 11, we have the Douro-Dummer Public Library Board meeting minutes in front of us. Any questions, comments, otherwise just a motion?
I'll make a motion to receive.
Deputy Mayor Nelson,
I'll
second
second.
by Councilor Johnston. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? That motion carries. I'll just call out, I don't know if it's, it was noted, or those were July minutes, perhaps under announcements. Councilor Watt, you'll maybe want to make an announcement of culture days,
for,
July minutes, under announcements.
tell you the truth, I'm not sure, did that just come up this last meeting, because I wasn't there,
Oh, maybe,
I was with you and him.
oh, was that where it
That
was?
was
Where it
Tuesday.
was? Gotcha, okay. Fair enough. Well, I'll make the announcement then when we come under announcements. That's fine. Under correspondence, action items, we have 12.1, the Township Springwater request for those of provincial regional governance reviews. Council, what would we like to do with that? Councilor Bort?
I'd like to make a motion to receive and support.
All right. Anyone want to second that motion? Councilor Watt, any discussion on the motion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Now, if you scroll back up to 7.4, we've got B7124 Crothers and B7274 Darling. I don't know, Councilor Watt, if we're dealing with these together or separately, but.
Well, they intertwine with each other.
Okay.
So through you, Madam Mayor, if I may, this has been kind of on the radar for quite a while. I spoke to Alana in great length on it when she was here. I have spoken to Christina about it. I even talked to lady from county about it when we were down at Millbrook for that open other thing we had down there. And so in 2018, Crothers built a big riding stable. And just for argument's sake, it's 80 feet by 140 feet. It's a huge indoor riding stable. So, and Mrs. Crothers showed me the paperwork, like the building, they got a building permit, the whole 9 yards. They had a sketch of the whole property with the setbacks from the fourth line of Dummer Ward, all back, really 1,910 feet here, 1,870 something. It was all laid out perfect. And on this farm, when I was a kid, 12, 14 years old, I was up there haying. So I know I'm very, very familiar with this farm. Somewhere along the line, Mr. Darling, which is the other one, bought a couple more 6 hectares of property to the southwest of Crothers property. And how, and I don't want to try and lay blame on anybody, I don't know how it happens, why it happened, or like that, but for some reason, when Crothers went to build, put in an application to build a second riding stable, it all of a sudden come up on the GIS mapping that 2/3 of this barn that they built in 2018 were now on Grant Darling's property. And the property that Mr. Darling had is Crothers property. And it seems to me like, and I know I exhaust a lot of avenues trying to prove this kind of like that, but I mean, and I'm not the only one that can do that, but it almost seems like these 2 6-acre properties were just reversed when they were put into the mapping system, so like that. So, because like I say, when they got their building permit, everything was perfect on their first building permit to build this big shed and this big riding stable. Second, now there's a big kerfuffle about it. So they've now put in applications to do this separation thing. Like one's gonna do a severance and send it over to the Crothers is gonna get their property, or Darling's property, Darling's gonna get Crothers property, basically. So it's thing to me is it's no fault of either of those parties. So I'm thinking to myself, it's not their fault. I know there's a bit of work involved in doing this stuff like that, but I honestly don't think there should be a cost involved. And I think there was a little bit of cost with the township. I think there was over $1,000 with the county, and I think there was some cost with Orca. So, and I did talk to Christina again today about this morning, and she recommended that, and this may not go over. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't think these 2 people should be taxed with money that wasn't their fault. So if there's a way to waive those, I know we could do our own, in a way, whatever, it's probably a way, the county's gotta do theirs, or it's gotta do theirs. But Christina recommended that maybe, refer these two back to staff, and staff investigate with the county and with Oregon, stuff like that, if there's a way, and I think it'd be county land division, she told me, but anyway, go back to, and investigate and see if there is a possible way to give these two properties relief, to get it changed back to the way it was for, like, since, 58, 70, 75 years ago when Lloyd Payne owned it, like that, so, when he owned the brothers farm, so. That's where I am with this one, that's why I'd like to see them up, and, like, I would make a motion to refer them back to staff for those reasons, to have them investigate and through the county land division, so like that, and just see if there is a way to relieve some or all of the costs that it's costing these people because of those circumstances. And getting the proof of that is hard. Mrs. Crothers said she would provide that sketch from when they did the building permit in 2018 that shows the proper lines of the property, so like that. So somewhere after that permit was issued, to when they were going to do the new one is when the switch was. Now, I'm not quite sure when Mr. Darling bought this other 6 hectares, kind of like that. I'm wondering if maybe, and again, I'm just going out on a limb here thinking, what could have possibly happened when it was put into the mapping system? Did those two get reversed somehow? Like maybe there was a wrong description on when Mr. Darling bought the property. I don't know, but I just know the fact that there's something far wrong here when it passed in 2018 with the proper outline, and then in 2022 or whenever they applied for the next farm, it did. So if there's any way to check that out and give them relief from that, I would certainly very much like staff to investigate that if they could, please.
So it sounds like you're making a motion to refer back to staff to report back
On the mix up, and if there can be any relief for the cost for the two landowners, because all they're doing is a 6 acre switch, 6 hectare and 6 hectare. Like, I mean, it's like a bang bang.
Okay. Just a point of order on that, because I don't know, Madam Clerk, with these MAF forms, by referring to that, are we causing any delay that we might be in trouble for with the province on this stuff, or how does that work?
Through you, Madam Mayor, I believe the timeline for decision on severances is longer than zoning and minor variances, but there is a timeline that has to be followed. And if we don't send in our MAFs, the land division cannot move these applications further through the process, so it would potentially cause a delay. It's a possibility is that staff, council could ask staff to just make a request to the county and to Orca to waive the fees without doing the investigation, because the township may not know what took place during those various land sales anyways, because we receive the information from lawyers, we don't actually process the sale itself. If that makes sense.
And are they our fees?
Some, there's a little bit, I think $300 some of the township was over 1,000 was the county, and I don't know what Orca, I have no idea whether there's any Orca fees or how much they were, I wasn't really sure about one.
So we're not in a
And
position.
that would be fine, that would work fine for me. And I would also like in there with just going with that request that Mrs. Crothers can provide that 2018 map and all of when they got their original building permit that shows the proper lines, and then it was after that somehow it changed.
Right, okay. So
So it wouldn't hold up the MAF then, but we could do the request for
I think what we're hearing is that we approve the MAF, sorry, looking at, your motion is that we approve the MAF and then look into, staff look into the fees. separate from that.
and as long as that works, I mean, that may be something, I don't know, you gotta do this with the county, may say you can't, but I would definitely like to investigate that. Move the MAFs forward, if that's not gonna hinder asking for a rebate or, or a waiving, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so that's your motion, Madam Clerk. Do you have that motion? You got it?
Is that fine?
Councilor-
I'm going to second to the chair with the question.
Thank you.
If they can prove that there was a mix up there, maybe they don't need a $70.
That's the thing, I do.
I mean, if they can prove, I'm just talking theoretically here, if they can prove that it was done and everything was done right, for whatever reason, they got filed that way, maybe at that point they don't need $70.
Mhm.
So I'm just saying, the sooner they can look at it, the better, just in case, for timeline, but also for, maybe this might change the whole scope of work.
fair question. Councillor, Report, you hand up.
Yes, thank you. Through you, Mayor Watson. Kind of to address a couple of the last couple points here. I think that the applicants have both spent considerable time, energy, and money at this point, especially with legal and ensuring that they've been able to make sure that the severance request that they've put in is accurate. My guess is they've spent a ton of money here going through this process. So I would not like to see things slowed down whatsoever for these people. In all honesty, they've probably spent 10 grand at this point. I don't think $300 is going to be a deal breaker for them. And I say that $10,000 as a collective between the two applicants. So I don't think we should get dragged down by things that may have possibly been. I'm assuming that they've done quite a bit of due diligence already to ensure that the request is reasonable.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to not hold up the MAF to approve it, but have staff look into the fees on it.
Right, the question is, we wait.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion on the motion? All vote, all in favor?
Get a second?
Councillor Johnson.
Sorry, I apologize.
All in favor, that motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
On to bylaws, 13.1, to the treasurer repeal previous bylaws. For a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the bylaw number 2024-54.
Thank you very much, Councillor Johnston, seconded. Okay, questions,
Go ahead.
anyone else?
No, I'm going to second it. But
I was just gonna say, no, this is fantastic, and we're appointing a great treasurer, and thank you very much, Paul, for sticking with us.
All in favor?
Absolutely.
That motion carries. Now I have to bring an interim treasurer.
So you
anymore.
can nothing more, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tripped over. I'm like,
what's the saying? Show me the money.
there you go. Okay, so, we don't have any reports, drive from notices of motion. Are there any notices of motion? Seeing nothing, are there any announcements? Well, I'll make a couple. First of all, earlier this summer, actually, local Lakefield artist David Goyette, had an art showing at the Douro-Dummer Public Library. I think it was the second of his showings there through the local gallery there. And after the showing, he decided to donate one of his pieces of art as a permanent installation in the gallery. So I just wanted to announce that and thank him for that generous gift. Also, library news, Culture Days, the annual celebration of local culture organized by the Friends of the Library, is happening on October the 5th. There are 2 events as part of Culture Days. The first one, I believe, is a bus tour. It's $10 and it's around local natural heritage, earth formations, the drumlins, and with a guided expert. And then the second half of the day starts from 10 until 12. And the second half of the day, I think, goes from 1 until 3 maybe, and it's crafts and such. And I believe it's at the library. I'm not 100% certain of that. I'm getting it all. Yes, it's at the library. So come one, come all. I think there's still room on the bus for people to participate in that tour. I've registered to be on that tour. So it would be quite interesting. So we'll share that news. Councillor Johnston.
So the chair, was that the Culture Days? I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
That the someone from the Knights barbecue for them.
In the past, yeah, the Knights have come out to our barbecue. I've seen them there. I don't know if they're having a barbecue there this year.
I don't know, I can mention it to them tonight,
Yeah,
that we'll get back to them.
yeah.
If, I'll talk to the library and see if.
Councillor Watt, of course, is the appointed library board member, so I'm.
And the
Yeah,
trip,
could have been discussion Tuesday night, of course, I wasn't there.
and the trip is what, 10 to 12?
10 to 12, and I usually with Western.
So then they'll be back at 12:30 or o'clock. Make note of that.
Thank you. Councillor Watt.
Do we want to, well, I just will. number one, I can't come Thursday because I've got a full day, but I would have been here to help put the trees.
Oh, Lord.
We're picking up, the tree program we've had this year. It was another big success, I believe, and, the pickup is this Thursday, and I know the township are looking for some help if possible.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, yes, starts Thursday. So
Starts Thursday.
Starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so.
So if you're not available Thursday, but you can come another day, you're what?
Thursday and Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, I could help. But it's all coming out of here, correct? All coming out of the township office here?
Yeah, through
Yes.
Madam Mayor, yes, the trees will all be delivered Thursday morning, and then starting at noon, they'll be ready for pickup. We have reached out to everyone who has purchased trees, to let them know, so we've either spoken to them on the phone or sent them emails. So that they're aware, and they've told us what times they prefer, so we can ensure they have enough staff on hand, to assist. And if anyone watching, hasn't heard about their trees, please call staff so that we can, give them a hand. Wonderful. And roughly how many trees do you know? I can tell you the exact number, it was, 772.
I just thought of one more, if I may, Madam Mayor. Excuse me, sorry. The Township and County Rodeo
Oh, yeah.
is next week. It's the 24th and 25th at the Douro Arena. So anyone that's interested in coming out and seeing what goes on and seeing the competitions with the snowplows and different equipment. And yep, it'll be a good day for everybody. And I think there will be food there that day too. So come on out and enjoy the 2 days. I know I'm going to volunteer for that one too.
I'll be there too.
I hope to be there too.
Perfect.
Any other
I'm done.
announcements? It's a busy month, what can I say? Okay, so moving on then, if there's no more announcements, we're ready to go to closed session. So folks who are in the chambers, thank you so much. This is a motion to go into closed shortly.
I'll make that motion with a 2-minute break or wait to the council.
Sure. Councilor Watt, seconded by Councilor Johnston, all in favor? That motion carries. Councilor Verboer, we're just gonna take a couple minutes to lock down and do our thing.